Welcome to Personal Development Mastery Podcast, and this is another Snippets of Wisdom episode where I select my favorite, most insightful moments from previous episodes of the podcast. Today's Snippet of Wisdom comes from my conversation with Cornel Thomas, who is an entrepreneur, speaker, and author. The snippet I chose to play for you from that conversation is about an important realization about purpose, an essential understanding about everybody's purpose. I hope this snippet is as insightful for you as it was for me. You went through that pain only to discover that on the other side of it was something even bigger than that dream that you had, which was your purpose. And you talk about your purpose being on the other side of your pain. So
yeah, it's funny with purpose, Agi, because a lot of times my mom raised us on the phrase, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And that phrase is it's like a catch-22, because sometimes that reason doesn't happen until long after you're not on the earth anymore. Right? Like, you don't know why. Sometimes you're just a sacrifice, right? Like sometimes, Martin Luther King went through all the things he went through, but he never got to see, what the ramifications of those actions. Like he saw it a little bit, but he was gone long before he can see what's going on now, right? So for me, when I tell people everything happens for a reason, patience is so key, because like I didn't know why I didn't grow up without a father until I had a son, right? Like until I had a child. Then I realized, like, me not growing up without a father makes me appreciate this job of fatherhood so much more. Me not being a professional basketball player allowed me to have my family. It allowed me to eventually find this, purpose of speaking and sharing my story and connecting with people. So there's thousands of people, including my family, that wouldn't be here in my life if I went to play professional basketball. And when you're in the storm, it's very hard to see that, because you can't see what's in front of your face. All you see is blurred vision. Like, I can't believe this is happening. You're so angry. For me, when I started sharing my story, I think people were drawn to it because it's just a real way. Like I always tell people, positivity and negativity both work the same way. They need your momentum, and whatever one you feed, that's the one that grows. And I think people can understand that a lot more than me saying, it's okay, everything's going to be fine, just close your eyes and pray that it's good. Like, that's not going to work for most human beings, right? So, I feel like I'm walking in my purpose, and it doesn't mean that life doesn't have hard moments. It just means when I'm doing the action, it's seamless. Like, it's easy. Like, this is easy, but life is always going to have its hard moments. But this part is easy. This is the part that I love, where I wake up and I'm just like today I woke up at 5:15. I knew I had your show today. I went for my run. It's freezing out, right? I went for my run. I came back home. I'm with my kids. I'm like, man, you can't construct a better day than this. I get to talk to a new friend. I get to exercise. I get to hang out with my kids. Me and my son will go get lunch later on. Like, this is a great day, So it's the little things for me. My oldest brother said to me this past weekend, he said, your wealth is in the people that you know. It's not in the money that you make. And it really hit home for me, because it's true. Our wealth is the human connections and the life experiences that we have with one another.
There is one other thing that I wanted to ask you about the purpose, and to wrap up with this topic, is that common misconception that exists among many people, that when we say a purpose, it has to be a grand purpose of empowering 1 billion people, or making a mark in the world forever and leaving a legacy and so on. So I know that you have a different point of view on that. So I would love to hear about it.
Yeah. I think that's what takes people away from trying to find their purpose, is they think that it has to be some grandiose mission, right? Where you're saving Earth. And that's not the case at all. Like, that's not the case. Like, your purpose, like my mom's purpose, I asked her, years back, I said, Mom, what did you want to be? Like, what did you dream of? And she said, my only purpose was to make sure that my kids were fed and raised the right way, and had a roof over their head. And I think you think about that, like my mom's purpose to some people would be like a micro purpose, right? Like, oh, she's just worrying about her house. But by her fulfilling her purpose, I can fill mine, which is a macro purpose, which is helping the planet, as many people as I can. So without my mom's purpose, my purpose means nothing because I'm not here, right? So understanding that everybody's purpose is important. Everybody's a cog in the wheel. Everybody. You take one cog out and the world changes, right? So that's the one thing I always tell people is like, you see these like commercials sometimes where, you know, the kid that got kicked out of the store that, you know, tried to steal medicine that couldn't, eventually, like, he's the one that, you know, saves the store owner's life that gives him the medicine, right? Like it's all of it. All of it flows together. It all ties in together. So I just implore people to realize that you're here for a reason. Like there's a reason you were created. And if you can just get that in your head every single day, life is not going to be as hard as we tend to make it.
Thank you for tuning in. You can listen to the full conversation in episode 104. The link is in the show notes. Your ongoing support as my listener means the world to me, and I value your input in shaping the show's future. That's why I'm extending a special invitation to 10 listeners like you to join me for a 30-minute Zoom call and discuss your podcast experience. Your insights will play a vital role in making the show even more tailored to your needs and serve you better. And to express my gratitude, I will gift you a copy of my first book, which is ready but not yet published, so you will be one of the very first people to read it. Don't miss out on this opportunity to connect with me, exchange insights, and read my book before it's available publicly. Click the link in the show notes to arrange our call or email me at agi@𝗍𝗲𝘂𝗍𝗲𝗓𝗏. I appreciate the opportunity to have this more personal communication with you, and I will be looking forward to speaking with you. Until then, stand out, don't fit in,